Everybody. Hello to the YouTube audience. How are you? We are live on both Facebook and YouTube simultaneously. Good to see you all on this beautiful Sunday morning. I am Walter, and I am always joined with my lovely wife, Rebecca, sitting right off camera. She doesn't like to be on camera, but it's good to see everybody. We're going to spend the next hour or so talking cruising, cruise news, cruise specials, and of course, we're going to do our very darndest to answer all of your questions. So good to see everybody. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, TikTok. Good to see everybody. What is going on? Hey, Jessica. Hey, Christy. I see all y'all tuning in over there on the TikTok side. Good to see everybody. We are so excited. You know, y'all have been asking us to go on MSC cruises, and that is finally happening. What did you say, 28 days?
28 days.
28 days. We will be on the MSC side. We will finally be able to tell you guys exactly what it is like on MSC. Good morning. I got multiple folks. Good morning, all. Good to see everybody over here on the TikTok side. Good to see everybody on this lovely Sunday morning. Absolutely beautiful Sunday morning here in the Orlando area. I think it could be in the 80s. I don't know what it's like where you are. But if you're new to the channel, my name is Walter. I am a travel advisor. And as always, I'm here with my wife, Rebecca, who is my partner in this enterprise. And we own Where's Walter Travel. And not only do we do cruises, we actually are a full-service travel agency. So we offer everything, you know, everything under the sun. Tours and land tours and expeditions and theme parks and you name it, we do it. And we have a lot of fun doing it. So thank you to all who have supported us already. We have had an amazing run growing this company so far. And it's all because of you. We're having a great time booking your cruises. And we're really having a great time. I hope all y'all are in our private Facebook group. Make sure you sign up for our private Facebook group. If you're not yet, all you got to do is click on my logo, and it will bring up. I'm going to go ahead and bring it up right now. It'll bring up the link tree, and there's a link directly to my Facebook page. And I think we've got a little over 300 people in there. But there it is. That little link tree right there. And if you're watching on YouTube, the links are in the description down below. So, did something happen to TikTok? I don't know, Christy. It's live here.
I'm having problems, but that's me.
Oh, are you? Well, Christy's saying she's having a few problems too. Oh, it's buffering for everyone. Ah, okay. So you're having some buffering issues. Okay, yeah, I see that we lost a lot of folks on the TikTok side as well. It does seem to be slowing down. It's not showing me live on TikTok. Well, it should be. It should be. Let's see. Are you seeing it?
Yeah, now I am.
Okay. So it's coming back up. Sorry about that.
I had to shut it down and restart it.
Oh, so Rebecca's saying that she had to shut down TikTok and restart it on her end. So, but hey, everybody, how y'all doing? Yep, sorry about that. I don't know what's going on, but how are you all doing? Hopefully some of y'all come on back and join us. So it is good to see everybody. So some of the things that we're talking about today, we're certainly talking about Virgin Voyages. Virgin Voyages is running an amazing special right now, up to $1,200 off. They're still doing that $600 bar tab. And if you're a solo traveler, man, y'all are like, hey, solo traveler, when are solo travelers going to get a good deal? Well, you're getting a good deal right now over in Europe. So if you sail on the Valiant Lady or the Resilient Lady this summer on Virgin Voyages, you can get a sea terrace with no solo supplements. So yay! So finally, I wish more cruise lines would start leaning into the solo travelers and things like that. But if you are interested in Virgin Voyages, this is a great time. And of course, we're still booking folks on our amazing Thanksgiving cruise that's going to be on the Valiant Lady. That's leaving November 18th from Miami. We're going to St. Croix, San Juan. We're going to Puerto Plata. We're going to the Bimini Beach Club, and we'll have 3 sea days. We're going to have 8 nights. They have 6 primary restaurants, so you can actually try all of the restaurants on one cruise. I cannot wait. Yes, food is very important to me. Very, very important to me. And we have 239 days of Christmas, so you can give that as a Christmas gift to somebody if you'd like. So, hey, Bill, how are you? Good to see you. Good to see you over there. So, Bill is one of our fellow travel agents. If you're not following B Duff Travels, that's the letter B, DUFF Travels, on YouTube, on TikTok, on Facebook, wherever the heck Bill is. You should be following him. He's a really good guy. So, Bill, good to see you this morning. Welcome to the show. And, of course, as always, we're answering your questions. We're talking through things. And one of the things that I just did a TikTok on the other day was that Wonder of the Seas over Sell. Some folks did ask me, well, how does this happen? I really don't know how this happened. Royal Caribbean has a ship. There is a specific amount of inventory on that ship, and I'm not exactly sure how, when you control the inventory, you've managed to oversell a ship. Now, my only guess is that it had to do with the guaranteed cabins, that they sold too many people bought into the specific cabins, and then they had a pool of guarantees. And then they realized, oh my goodness, we have 200 guarantees, we have 150 cabins. Now we don't have enough room. So that's what I'm going to assume happened. And this is why we don't recommend guarantees at all. I don't like guarantees. But if anybody's going to get bumped off the ship, you technically don't have a cabin. So it's pretty easy to bump off somebody with a guarantee. So, hey, Nikki, how are you? Good to see you this morning.
I mean, you will get compensated for being.
Oh, they're totally getting so they're getting a refund for future cruise credit, or they can just simply rebook. Now the problem with all of this is that it happened like 2 days before the cruise, so people are already flying. They might already be in Orlando. Somebody said, "Well, does the cruise line refund you for the hotel and the airfare?" No, they do not, because that's on you. This is why you get travel insurance. This is why you absolutely always get travel insurance. And get good travel insurance. I learned something. I learned something new this week. I looked at the standard. So Holland America has standard and platinum travel coverage, and the standard has no medical coverage whatsoever. The standard is only if you cancel a cruise. So, hey, good morning, Mr. Jim. How are you? Good to see you. Welcome to the show. Always good to see you guys up in the amazing cruise capital of the world, Cleveland, which apparently John Heald. I want to know. Jim, maybe where did that all start from? I mean, John Heald over at Carnival is always making jokes about Cleveland and showing their ships in the port of Cleveland. So maybe you know where that came from. I think that's hilarious. Yes, Glamster, you don't like guarantee, and they do it to save some money. I honestly wish the cruise line would just get rid of it. Just pick like 50 cabins on the ship and say, these are the really, really cheap ones. You want really, really cheap ones? These are in the worst location on the ship. These are the ones you can have super, super cheap. Things to do in Princess Key. Gee, we haven't been there in a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time. It was a lovely beach day. I remember that.
That's what I was going to say. It has a beautiful beach. Now, Princess Key is a tender port. So that means the ship is not going to dock. You're going to take a tender. Probably the lifeboats, I think, is what they use. They may have some actual tender boats now. But you're going to take that on in. And it is more or less a beach resort.
And I do remember seeing a fairly recent, like in the past couple of months, thing from Pero DJ where Dee went snorkeling just off the beach.
So there you go.
She saw like real squid, like actual live swimming squid. I thought that was fun. I've never seen the squid alive. So
if you're not following Pero DJ on YouTube, it's PARODEEJAY. Pero DJ on YouTube, and Rebecca said they were just at Princess Key, so maybe go check out.
Maybe a month or two ago.
Yeah. I mean, they're traveling constantly. Right now, oh my God, right now they are with our amazing friends Stephanie Mullen and Ben and David. All of them are on the Norwegian Spirit. They just finished the Hawaii portion of their cruise, and they're on their way to Alaska. Yes, one cruise, Hawaii and Alaska. It's the Norwegian Spirit. She's actually repositioning from Australia all the way to Vancouver, and they broke it up into two legs, Australia to Hawaii and then Hawaii to Vancouver. So Stephanie, Ben and David, Pero DJ are all on the Hawaii to Vancouver. They finished Hawaii. They are on their way to Vancouver. We sent Stephanie some amazing ship snacks yesterday. She loves shrimp cocktail, so we had to send her some shrimp cocktail. she loved it. Now, Luna Rose over on YouTube is saying she did a horseback excursion at Princess Keys. I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know they had horses at Princess Keys.
I mean, it's been so long. Maybe
it has been a very long time. Yeah.
Added.
But thank you, Luna. Fantastic. Over on the YouTube side, she's saying that she did a horseback riding excursion. So, I mean, obviously, that is Princess's own island. Now, I don't know if you're going there with Princess or one of the other Carnival lines, but just simply look it up in your cruise planner and go ahead and figure out what to do. That's awesome. Anything to know for an Alaskan cruise at the end of September? So one thing I did learn at a recent cruise convention is that you may have a chance to see the Northern Lights. At least if you're doing a land portion. I was at the Cruise 360 conference a few weeks ago, an educational conference for a travel agent, and the folks from Fairbanks, Alaska said August 21 to April 21 is the Northern Lights season. And if you spend 3 days in that vicinity, you have about a 90% chance of seeing the Northern Lights. So you actually have a chance to see the Northern Lights. But they are fleeting, is what he said. He said, like, literally, they may appear and go away. They may appear and go away. And if you're staying on land at all, some of the hotels actually have a wake-up call, to wake you up when the Northern Lights appear. So maybe look into that as well.
And the only other thing I'll say about end of September is there may be some shops and restaurants that have already started to close up.
Yeah, for the season.
Because that is the end of the Alaska season.
It is. So got a good question over here on YouTube from Jay Beck, 1995. Do the shows on Virgin have multiple times each night, and can they be booked on the app 45 days out? How best to coordinate both shows and dinners so you don't have to rush from one to the other? Excellent question. Thank you for that. So if you are a regular sailor, yes, you book the shows 45 days. No. Oh, no, that's right. You book the shows on the ship.
Yep.
Right.
You cannot book the shows on the ship. And the times do, like, about 45 days out, you'll start to see some times for things, but that will change probably several times until about maybe a week or so out. So
maybe the day of the cruise. That's one thing that Virgin does.
There is multiple times that the shows run. Maybe not each night, but sometimes it might be one show early and a different show late. Yeah. Sometimes it might be both the same show early and late.
Yeah.
But it seemed to me that it was mostly 7:30 ish for the earlier show and about 10:30 for the later show. Yeah. That's approximate. So honestly, you're kind of just guessing.
Yeah, Virgin is not like all the other cruise lines where, like, every time there is a theater show, 7:30, 9:30. They do the exact same times each night. Like she said, like I remember Dual Reality on our most recent cruise. It was early one day and then it was late another day. It wasn't early and late on the same day. It was 2 different days on the cruise. And you book the reservation for the shows once you get on the ship. Now your dinners you can book 45 days in advance if you're a regular sailor. And basically with the dinners you're going to have to kind of guess, like, well, should I go earlier? Should I go later? But if a show conflicts with a dinner, you could always go to the restaurant and say, what are my options?
Or when you get on board, go to Sailor Services or one of the other stations they'll have set up and see if they can either move a dinner or give you a different show or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for that question. That's outstanding. And by the way, one thing too, if you've got like 90 minutes from dinner to the show, tell your servers, hey, I've got, like, as soon as you sit down, hey, I've got a show in 90 minutes. So can we pick up the pace a little bit? And they will. We did. We had that where we got an extra virgin. Typically it's about a 2-hour dinner. They did it in a little under 90 minutes because that was the window we had to get to Dual Reality. So make sure you do that as well. So I'm going to get to a few on TikTok. What can I do in Amber Cove besides an excursion? Go to the beach, go shopping.
From what I understand, it's kind of a
Yeah.
carnival built little resort.
There's a whole
area.
shopping center right there. There's a bar way up at the top. Looks kind of like a satellite dish from the ship, but it's actually a big awning kind of a thing. So yeah, and actually I don't know if there's a beach right there.
Yeah, there's a beach there.
I don't know. Amber Cove, I think
I
there's
saw
maybe.
I thought I saw
Mahogany Beach, yes. There's definitely a beach at Mahogany, but Amber Cove. I honestly can't remember because we didn't get off the ship there. So
I'm pretty sure there's a beach you can hang out on.
Okay.
Pretty sure I remember seeing.
Remember, we've been to so many ports; it's kind of hard to remember them all. Cayman, you're going on a 12-night with Princess. Should you be worried about a guaranteed cap? I mean, don't worry about it.
I have to say, it's
rare.
Fairly rare.
Very rare, and I have not heard of Princess overselling.
Yeah, I've only heard of this with Royal Caribbean.
And actually, it's primarily the Wonder of the Seas. It's the third time with the Wonder of the Seas, same ship. So for the most part, the guarantee does work. I don't like it just because there is if they have to bump anybody, it will be the guarantees that get bumped.
Sometimes if you book late, that's all you can get.
Yeah, yes. And Bill is saying, yes, there is a beach at Amber Cove. So, yes, thank you.
Aha.
Over on YouTube, real quick, you're an experienced cruiser. You use a personal, I can't remember what the PVP, personal something.
Yeah, it's the
but now looking to book with a TA.
It's the cruise line version of assistant. Basically.
So, and it's a great question. So the question is, should I book through the cruise line personal helper, agent, whatever, or should I go through an independent travel agent? What's the advantage of going with a travel agent versus booking myself? Well, the main difference between using a cruise line, travel advisor and using an independent travel advisor is we can compare multiple cruise lines, right? So if you're talking to Carnival, you're talking to Princess, well, guess what? They're going to sell you on Princess. Oh, well, you don't like this ship? How about this ship? How about that itinerary? But they're not going to say, well, Carnival also has something, or Celebrity has something, whereas we will. We are not beholden to any single cruise line. We are beholden to you to help make sure that you get the best cruise. And then in some cases, we might be able to get a better rate. We might be able to get you a little something like on Virgin Voyages right now. If you book through us, you book a Sea Terrace, which is a balcony, we give you $100 on board credit. That is not through Virgin Voyages, that's through us. So, the big advantage is that we work on your behalf. That's like the most important thing. We work on your behalf and we don't cost you anything.
And then when things, if anything goes wrong, or if you have any questions, you have an actual person to call and help you.
In fact, yesterday, I had a call from a client. They were in Skagway, Alaska yesterday, and they showed up at a location to take a tour, and they're like, "Hey, Walt, this place is closed. Where do we go now?" And so I called into Shore Excursions Group to get everything squared away, and within 5 minutes, they ended up calling me back and said, "Oh, hey, we found it. There's a couple doors down," but that's what we do. They're like, "Oh my God, who would they have called at the cruise line if they couldn't find this thing?" They really didn't have anybody to call, so they called me. And I called Skagway, and then I called our guys, and we did it. So that's what we do. Over on YouTube, Waylon, what was your first cruise? Which ship? You were 12, and you went on the Song of Norway. Wow, in 1973. So our very first cruise was 2006. It was our 10th wedding anniversary, and it was on the Caribbean Princess because Rebecca still loves, to this day, the Love Boat. So our first cruise had to be the Love Boat. And now we just did our 5th cruise on them recently on the Sky Princess. What a gorgeous ship. Holy moly. And if you've never heard the story, I didn't want to go on that first cruise. At first when we booked it, it was like, okay, let's do it. This sounds fun. And then as we got closer, I'm like, no. And it was 14 days, not even just, a nice little 7-day cruise. It was a 14-day back-to-back East-West Caribbean. I didn't want to go. And as we got closer to the cruise, Rebecca finally said, well, I'm going. I was like, fine. And then 3 days into it, we booked our next cruise. So there you go. So I didn't even want to go on my first cruise, but I had a great time. Great question. Thank you. Is cruising something good to do as a 61-year-old traveler? Well, first of all, the age doesn't matter. Yeah, solo traveler. Age doesn't matter. First of all, you can be any age, travel on anything. I think cruising is especially good for solo travelers. And I'll tell you why. Because you are with a group of folks for 3 nights, 4 nights, 7 nights, 10 nights, however long that is. And you kind of get to know these people. Like when you're in a hotel or you're in a resort, people are like passing by, right? You see people in the lobby, they're going to dinner, they're going to a show, they're going to a stadium, they're going somewhere. But on a ship, people are lingering, right? They're at the lobby bar, they're at a show, they're hanging out by the pool. You start to see these people. Once you meet somebody, then it's just really easy to say, hey, I'll hang out with you guys over here. I'll hang out with you guys over there. We have multiple clients and we have quite a few friends who are solo travelers, and they love it because it seems like on cruises, especially, you really get to know the people around you. When you're at a hotel or resort, like I said, people are just kind of passing in the night. But when you're on a ship, you actually have time. Like there's no reason for you to rush off because you're on a ship. Where are you going to go? So I think it's outstanding. Now, you do get dinged as a solo traveler unless you book a solo cabin. And I did a TikTok on that recently where, sometimes you have to pay up to double of your fare. Like you actually have to pay for that second person who's going to be in the lifeboat.
You don't pay for their port fees and
taxes,
but you do pay.
Yeah, whereas like
fare.
It could be $500 per person for a double occupancy, but you're going to pay $950 or $900 as a solo to book in that exact same cabin. But there are some solo cabins out there. Virgin Voyages, Celebrity, Norwegian is really big with it. So there are options out there, and if you really want to get into solo travel, just reach out to us. Just click on my logo, and go into that link tree, and that very first thing in the link tree is contact us. Right at the very top. Let's see if it works. There it is. So literally right at the very top of that link tree, it says contact us. So just reach out. We'll be happy to try to help you find a good ship.
If you're looking at solo cabins, I would always recommend just pricing out what a regular cabin would be for one person. Because if the prices are pretty close in together, you may want to consider the regular cabin just to give yourself a little more space.
Right. And Controversial Cruising over on YouTube, thank you very much. You're going to be emailing us. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. That's very kind of you to do that. Let's see. You're 63. You're going to be doing your first solo cruise in December. Yay. Going on your No More Alimony cruise on the Disney Magic. Food is amazing on Disney. I think until we went on Virgin Voyages, Disney had the absolute best food in the business overall. Disney still has my absolute best meal ever, land or sea for me, which was the Remy restaurant on the Fantasy.
It's not on the Magic.
So it's not on the Magic, but yay, food is amazing. I believe
the Magic may only have Paolo.
I have no idea.
It used to only have Paolo unless they added something else.
Good morning, I boogie on NCL. Can you book entertainment before you board? I can't remember. Could we?
I don't think so, but I wouldn't swear to that.
I don't think we could. I don't know.
But I don't ever remember being that difficult, and you can always get in a standby line as well.
You can always get in a standby.
But you can do it on your app once you get connected to the ship Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
So you can do it, by yourself. Just
yes.
Get connected.
Yes. Good morning, Destination Fun. How are you? Shelly, can you take cocktails in with you to watch the shows? Yes. I don't know. In fact, they take orders for cocktails in the shows. And if you're on the Celebrity Solstice class, there are special escape seats in the back of the theater. That's all I'm going to say about that, because apparently I'm not supposed to talk about it. My favorite cocktail. Oh, come on. That's easy. That's an old-fashioned.
I think somebody's saying you can now. I think they're referring to the booking the entertainment on Norwegian. So you can now 21 days before sailing.
Oh.
I believe that's a reference to Norwegian.
Thank you. Thank you for pinging that in. I just said a few minutes ago, one of the advantages of using a travel agent is we represent all the cruise lines. Well, every cruise line has their own rules.
And they change.
And they change all the time. So like when we're on a show like this and I don't have my notes in front of me of every cruise line, it's kind of hard to remember what each little cruise line does. So thank you. That's why I love my audience. Y'all are awesome, helping each other out. How far in advance do we get tickets when the trip is paid for? If you're talking about the cruise itself, you get the booking documents right away when you book it.
But the actual boarding documents, usually you get those somewhere around check-in time, usually.
Yeah, closer to check-in time. It depends on, because, a lot of them, it's on the apps now, your boarding ticket and all that's going to be on the app. But, usually your e-tickets, your boarding pass are going to start to show up a little bit closer, maybe a couple weeks out before you get on the ship, kind of a thing. Exclusive sailor loot, absolutely. You normally sail Norwegian, but have been considering Celebrity. What's the major differences? That's a great question. Really good question. Number one, there will be, depending on the ship you're talking about, now the smaller Norwegians are going to be a little bit more adult centric. The big breakaway class and up going to be a lot more kids. So Celebrity right off the bat will have fewer kids because they don't have the water slides. They don't have like all that top deck activity
Rope
stuff.
courses.
Yeah.
I
But
don't even think they have an arcade.
Celebrity has the best, I think, indoor pool. They have the Solarium pool, the Solstice class. They have it on the Millennium class, and they certainly have it on the Edge class. Celebrity is very much a casual luxury resort at sea. That's how they position themselves. That is exactly how the ships feel. They are gorgeous. They are very adult centric. I think Norwegian is fun. I mean, I love Norwegian. Norwegian's definitely more fun. I think Norwegian may have better entertainment, to be honest with you. Well, we haven't been on the Edge class yet.
I know.
So we haven't been on the Millennium class either. Solstice class, it's not our favorite entertainment. Doesn't matter to us. We don't care. We still love those ships. We've been on Solstice class 4 times. But I think the specialty dining is almost going to be a wash, believe it or not, because the Norwegian specialty dining is very good. It's a little more elegant on Celebrity.
And there's more variety on Norwegian.
Yeah, definitely more variety on Norwegian.
But
basically French steak, you got your Le Petit Chef, and you got Italian, basically.
But I will definitely give main dining room edge by a long shot to Celebrity.
And the buffet.
Oh, yeah.
The main dining room and the buffet, much better on Celebrity. So that's some of the differences right there. You like the Princess Cup? Thank you. Got this on the Sky Princess.
Actually, almost looking a little...
yeah, it's weird. It's weird. I don't know.
I mean, it is almost looking kind of...
How many cruises did Rebecca go on without you? I don't know. How many did you go on without me?
Never gone on a cruise without you.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. You're 65 and doing your second solo cruise next week. Yay! So Colette is going on an amazing adventure up in Alaska. She's going on 14 days. Yes, she is one of our clients. So she is going on 14 days up to Alaska, and it's going to be amazing. It's a fabulous itinerary. We always say, hey, you got to do a land sea tour if you really want to see Alaska. But now Holland America has come along. They got a 14-day itinerary. They got a 28-day itinerary. It's just a cruise. And Colette's going to have she's going to hit a lot of areas that you typically would not hit on just a single cruise. And it's round trip, too. So that's kind of nice. She'll be flying in and out of, I think, Vancouver. But Colette, you better post a lot of pictures in our group. Colette is in our Facebook group. Please do join the Facebook group. Again, you'll find it in our link. Just click the logo. So, yeah. That's going to be amazing. So thank you for chiming in, Colette, and thank you so much for being a supporter. Hey, Tristan, how are you? Your daughter is Melissa over here. Your daughter is a dancer right now on NCL, on the Spirit. Hey, so...
tell her to say hi to Steph.
Yeah, hey, tell her to look for Stephanie, Ben, David, and Pero DJ. They're all on the ship right now. That's amazing. So you're going to Alaska in June to see her. So they're riding the ship right now. They just finished that Hawaii itinerary, and the ship is on its way to Alaska right now to do the full Alaska itinerary. So that's amazing. That's so awesome. Let's see. You're able to book it. Why can't I use my onboard credit Holland America prior to cruise to reserve a spot?
Every cruise line has different rules on how you can use your onboard credit. And
Correct.
With Holland, you actually have to do it on board, as the name suggests.
Some cruise lines will allow you to do anything with the onboard credit, and then some of them will say you can use it for certain things, you can't use it for other things. So Holland America says onboard credit is onboard credit, so you have to wait until you get on the ship.
Sometimes I've heard of, I can't swear that this will happen, but I have heard of some people will book whatever it is they want, and then once they get on board, they'll go to guest services and get them to get a refund on their original credit card or whatever they used, and then have it rebooked with the onboard credit. So that's a possibility you could try. It may or may not work, but
yeah. And by the way, for those of you who are new to the channel, maybe you're just tuning in and you're wondering who this disembodied voice is over off camera. That is my wife, Rebecca. She's a partner in Where's Walter Travel. I'm the guy on camera. She's the one with all the knowledge. And I just pretend like I know what I'm talking about over here. But that's who that is. That's my lovely wife, Rebecca. This is our second business together. This is the first time we are literally working side by side. My old business, I went to work, she went to work at another business, and now we're actually working like literally side by side. It's awesome every day. No, it really is. It really is amazing to be working alongside her. So I love this. Destination Fun, thank you. You will love Alaska, one of the best cruises you have done. It is. I mean, it is. It is amazing. I can't even describe Alaska. You just have to go. And I encourage all of you, if you go to Alaska, get on a smaller ship. You don't need a big ship with all the bells and whistles and all of this stuff. Alaska is the star. And it's basically a river cruise with a big ship. You're getting off the ship all the time, and you're going to have long port stays. You don't need a ship that has the iFly and the bumper cars and the skydiving and all the water slides and all that stuff. You just need to enjoy Alaska. So yay! Thank you, Destination Fun. I like your handle. It's a lot of fun. And Luna Rose saying Celebrity Edge class have excellent entertainment. She loves Eden. Well, thank you for chiming in on that, Luna. Edge will be next. We're definitely. I mean, we got to get on one in 2024. We haven't been on one yet. 2024, we have to get on one, if not sooner. If not sooner. But thank you so much for chiming in. Have we sailed on MSC? We will be on May 28th. We're leaving Port Canaveral on the
4
MSC.
weeks.
Yeah, MSC Seaside. We will be on that ship for 7 nights, including an overnight stay at Ocean Key. Ocean K. I don't know how they say it. But this literally will be our first time. We've been cruising almost 20 years. We've never had an overnight stay. So this will be very interesting for us to have an overnight stay. Arlene, can you book a cruise and make payments? You won't get approved for the payment program. That is such a great question. And it's something that I talk about with my clients all the time. The answer is yes. 100% you can. So here's how it works. You make a deposit, and then 90 to 120 days before the cruise, your final payment will be due. Now, between that deposit and that final payment, you can make as many payments as you want. So it's essentially like a zero interest loan. And if you made a deposit, if you booked it yourself, you can go ahead and pay the cruise line directly. Or if you book it through somebody like me, travel agent, we make the payments on your behalf. But 100%, you can make many payments as you want between deposit and your deposit can be whatever you want. Deposit typically, like, let's just say $100 to $350. If you say, hey, I want to go ahead and put $1,000 down, you put $1,000 down. Cruise line doesn't care. They just want your money. They're happy to take it in advance.
The deposit amount they're requesting is just the very minimum you have to pay.
Correct. You can do as much as you want.
Hold the cruise.
But like I have clients who literally, like on a regular basis, every month, hey, I got a schedule to send them, a note. Hey, we're going to put down another 200. We're going to put down another 200. Absolutely. Thoughts on Royal? You've been wanting to go. You've never been before. Royal Caribbean's a great cruise line. If you go to our YouTube blog, I've got Symphony of the Seas blog up there right now from our December cruise. We have been on the Mariner of the Seas, the Symphony of the Seas, and the Freedom of the Seas. We had a really good time. The main dining room is okay. You're not going to go hungry. It's okay. The buffet, the Windjammer, we noticed a vast improvement from pre-pandemic to now when we went on the Symphony of the Seas. Symphony of the Seas was our first post-pandemic cruise on Royal Caribbean, and we found that they stepped up the Windjammer a little bit. It was like almost shades of celebrity. Some of the dishes coming into the Windjammer, and if you don't know, Royal Caribbean owns Celebrity Cruise Line, so they are sister cruise lines. But it almost felt like, Celebrity buffet is still better, but it almost felt like they were bringing some of that celebrity food into the buffet. So, and they had great specialty dining, fabulous shows. I mean, really good shows, depending on the ship you go on, like the Oasis class, Symphony. They have the water show, they have the ice skating show, they have Broadway show, they have original show. Lots and lots of entertainment, lots to do. So Royal Caribbean is a really fun cruise line. And then, of course, if you get on one that goes to Ocean K, absolutely fabulous. So much fun. Coco K. A K. If you go on the Coco K, you're going to have a fabulous time. So let's see, working today. Hey, Stacy, you're working today. Why are you working today? Well, I'm glad we can help you out. Colette is going on the New Amsterdam. She's going on the Holland America New Amsterdam. Fabulous ship. We've been on that ship before.
It was our first Thanksgiving cruise we ever did.
Yeah, very first Thanksgiving cruise. We have been on multiple Thanksgiving cruises. In fact, this year we're going to be on our 6th. Hey, Kenneth. How are you? Good to see you, my friend. How are you? Always awesome to see you. Kenneth is going to be on an amazing New Year's Eve cruise this year. Oh my God, I can't wait to hear about that one. But yeah, so the whole Thanksgiving thing is kind of funny. We had two Thanksgivings in a row that were messed up. You know, the first one, I can't even remember what happened, but the second one, somebody got sick, and then they had to cancel the Thanksgiving. And I told Rebecca, like, let's just go on a cruise next year for Thanksgiving.
And I also had a job where I pretty much about every other year had to work Thanksgiving.
Yeah. So we did it on the Holland America, New Amsterdam. Had such a blast. We've done four of them. We're going to do our fifth one this year on the Virgin Voyages Valiant Lady. If you'd like to join us, we only have balconies left. That's it. Everything else is sold out on the ship. I think we've got 2 decks, maybe 3 decks with some balconies left. I mean, this is selling really, really well. It's the Valiant Lady, November 18th, sailing out of Miami. We're going to be on the ship for 8 nights. It's going to be amazing. I believe we've got 14 cabins now coming in our group. Rebecca and I will be there. So if you want to come along, reach out. You know, like I said, just click my logo. If you're on YouTube, the links are in the description. And then on TikTok, you can just see this whole link tree down below. And the very first one says contact us. So if you'd like to contact us to talk about joining us on that cruise or anything we can do for you with travel. I mean, we are full service travel agents. So however we can help you with your cruises, your land tours, your theme parks, whatever you want to do, we're here to help. So back to the show. You're going on your first cruise in March with Caribbean Princess. That was our first one. Yay! You're going to email. Okay, now, if somebody's trying to ask us a question and you are using the word lazy or virgin, TikTok will block it. So misspell those 2 words. Somebody spelled virgin VERGEN last week, and I thought that was brilliant. But TikTok is going to block you. If you're trying to ask us a question and TikTok is blocking you, change the spelling of some words in there, and it might come through. Leaving Saturday on the Grand Princess for Alaska. Solo cruise at 61. Yay! Awesome. Oh my God, you're going to love Alaska. Cabin time, best time to go to Alaska. Well, and now that depends on whether you want the kids or not. It also depends on whether you want all of the shops to definitely be open. You know, if you want less kids, that's going to be May, September, like first week of October. But, you know, if you get to the end of September, early October, and we never used to go into October, now we do, some of the shops are going to start closing. Some of the businesses are going to start closing. Some of the tours are going to start closing early. So I think a sweet spot would be like the end of August, early September would be a nice time to go because there's less kids and everything is still open. Now we went the last week of May, first week of June. The nice thing about that was we got to see a lot of the babies. A lot of the babies were out.
And there were still fewer kids because a lot of kids up north are not out of school yet at that time.
Katina going on a Hawaiian cruise. We were just talking about that. We're thinking about that for 2024. So yay, Pammy, you love Celebrity and Princess. That is absolutely awesome. You were on Oasis for Thanksgiving last year. That is so awesome. You're already booked on the same cruise. Don't know which one you're talking about, Mike, but hopefully it's the Valiant Lady. That would be awesome if you were. Melissa was on the Dawn for Thanksgiving. Awesome. This is so much fun. You guys are having so much fun. New Amsterdam in 7 days. I know. What is the itinerary for the Thanksgiving voyage? If you are talking about the Virgin Voyages one, that is going to be St. Croix, San Juan, Puerto Plata, the Bimini Beach Club in 3 sea days.
And so, not necessarily in that order.
Yeah, I know Bimini's last, but yeah. Doing land and sea in June, yay! Leaving 9/6 for a cruise tour, yay! That is so awesome. I just love all y'all having a good time on that.
And one thing I will say about the land tours, if you're in Denali and you want to do the Tundra Wilderness Tour, that apparently doesn't start up till maybe the last week of May, and it will end maybe the middle of September. Yeah. So.
And it's shorter now too because of a road slide, so they can't go all 81, 90 miles in. It's only about 40 some miles just because they had a road slide, so part of the road is gone. Chantel, you're doing a Western Caribbean in May 2023. You're going to have a 3-year-old. Any cool excursion? I have no idea what to recommend.
I
for
can't.
a 3-year-old.
Definitely, when you're looking at excursions, There will be some with age limits, so you'll
Yeah.
definitely want to make sure that your 3-year-old will be accommodated. But honestly, I guess it kind of depends on what your 3-year-old is into and what your options are with someone of that age.
Yeah.
So we've never had children, so
Yeah, I mean, it's something we would have to do research on. I don't know offhand, but yeah, I'd have to do that. Hey, Richard, how are you? Good to see you. You subscribed and asked about Purge for a birthday cruise. Awesome. For the first time. You're going on the getaway. Congratulations, Richard. Happy birthday. I can't remember. I hope you're in our Facebook group, the private Facebook group. Please join over there so we can see the pictures of the getaway. I've got a big wedding group that I'm booking right now on I'm booking them on the breakaway for June. And then I have another wedding that we're going to start booking for Princess in April of next year. So if you're considering a wedding or maybe vow renewals, most people don't realize it is often cheaper to do a wedding on a cruise and it's less stressful. And this is the reason why. You have one point of contact. That's it. You don't have to call the caterers, you don't have to call the flowers, you don't have to call the venue, you don't have to call whatever. Just have one person. There is a one point of contact at the cruise line that takes care of the weddings. In most cases, it is a third party company, but it's literally so I take care of the cruise, I get everybody booked, I take care of everything on the ship, and then this third party company, one point of contact, takes care of the whole wedding. So if you're thinking about it or a vow renewal, certainly reach out. We're having a grand time putting these weddings together. I'm going to be honest. I'm glad I don't have to deal with the wedding side of it because that is a lot of work, and I'm happy just taking care of the cruise. So, yeah. Let's see. Yes, yes. Please, Richard, come on over and join us. You're sailing on the Symphony. Sailed on the Symphony this time last year. Fantastic. You're sailing on Reflection May 22nd. Celebrity Reflection is a great ship. We really enjoyed that. Oh, you're going on the Disney Fantasy. Great ship. We went on the Fantasy. We had the most amazing balcony of any cruise ship, I swear.
well, except for our cheeky
Corner. But the standard balcony, let's put it that way. But it was dead center in the aft of the ship, so it was this big extended balcony that went. I swear we could put 30 people on our balcony, no problem, on the Disney Fantasy. So yeah, have an amazing, amazing time. So we've got a question over on YouTube. To be your first visit to Key West on version, do you have any must see or must do suggestions? We have not been to Key West yet. Anybody else watching right now? Do we have suggestions for JBEC in Key West? Have you been to Key West on a cruise or have you just visited Key West? Do you have some suggestions for what to do in Key West? We will be going to Key West one of these days. And in fact, I've had some discussions with two amazing Hilton properties on Key West for booking some of our clients there. Oh my God, they're absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to be going to Key West just to go visit one of these Hilton properties soon, just to go down and say, hey, Jeff Corwin's going to be a special guest on the Sapphire Princess. If you don't know, Princess Cruise Line has a partnership with Jeff Corwin now, and it's really, really awesome.
They also have a partnership with Animal Planet and Discovery Channel.
They do. So that's one of the things it's one of the reasons why we recommend Princess and Holland so much for Alaska. Not just this, but they have partnerships with the U.S. Park Service and park rangers and things like that, and they very often will have guests on the ship to narrate and help explain what you're seeing, so it's not like you're just sitting there looking at glaciers and looking at landscapes. They've actually got folks on board, so that's awesome.
And I'll say they didn't do this when we went, but they do now. They do puppies in the piazza in most of their Alaska sailings.
In most of the Alaska sailings, I'm going to move over just a little bit. There we go. Yeah, they do puppies in the piazza. So they bring the puppies on board. Puppies. Oh my God. Favorite activity on a cruise besides eating and drinking? Well, those are my two favorite things.
Watching the ocean. Yeah,
I mean, I could sit and watch the ocean all day, just sit on my balcony and just watch. But we really do love trivia. Trivia is a lot of fun, especially one that we know we're going to do terrible at. It's just hilarious. They kind of make up things. It's better than the stuff you know, because when you know it, you get frustrated because you're like, oh, I know there's one. But when you don't know it and you're just making stuff up, it tends to be a lot more fun. So I do love the trivia. And I think my other favorite thing is trying to get to know some of the crew members that are on board because there's some really interesting stories of where these people come from, how they got there. So I do tend to do that, and then of course just meeting people. We have some lifelong friends that we've met on cruises, and it's just really cool to meet folks. But and then if I'm on like an active ship, yeah, there's gonna be some mini golf happening there. I might do some bocce ball stuff like that. But yeah. Oh, somebody's going on their 50th anniversary. Yes. Um, Sheila, is the Caribbean Princess a good cruise with less kids? Well, that just depends on the time of year you're going. Princess is a little bit more family friendly, shall we say, than say Celebrity in Holland, that they do actively push their kids clubs.
And a lot of multi-generational travel.
Yeah. So
depending on the time of year, that's going to vary greatly.
Right. So, and it's not like you're going to see 1,000 kids running around the ship,
No.
but at certain times of the year you might see a couple of hundred, or you might see a couple dozen, or maybe less than a couple dozen.
And the length of the cruise also has a big impact. When it's basically longer than 8 days, and a true longer than 8 days, not a back-to-back,
Yeah.
there will be fewer families and children.
Yes, absolutely. Your mama, that's funny. Alaska Princess Discovery next Sunday. Yes, next Sunday. Oh man, we're so jealous with everybody.
They have the gelato from the Discovery Princess.
They do. Any thoughts on the MSC Seascape? Not yet. We're going on the seaside in 28 days, and we will finally.
Is a sister ship to the Seascape.
Sister ship. You're going on to Scarlet Lady. Have an amazing time. Be sure to watch my vlogs on the food and all of that good stuff. We've been on her twice now. Hey Joe, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Have we cruised in Norway? Oh, that's such a sore spot right now. We were supposed to last year. Thank you for just ripping that up. No, I'm just kidding. We were supposed to last year. Unfortunately, we had to cancel. We had a Jewel of the Seas cruise scheduled for the Norwegian fjords, and just due to some circumstances going on here, we had to cancel that one. That's how we ended up on the Symphony of the Seas. So we had to cancel that. We rebooked on the Symphony of the Seas instead. So we really, really want to. I believe Gary Bembridge, Tips for Travelers, has done the Norwegian fjords a couple times. So if you'd like some
Sean
insight.
and Steph have done that.
Sean and Steph have done the Norwegian fjords as well. And of course, we're so proud to be sponsors of Stephanie Mullen and the Sean and Steph channel right now. So we're booking all of her travel, and we are sponsoring her, and it's just so much fun. You're going to Alaska in August on Princess Fabulous. I cannot wait. Can't wait to hear about the Hilton in Key West. I know. I can't wait to hear about it in Key West. So I can't wait to go. Hemingway House on Key West. I know. That'll be a good place to go.
I don't want to see the Hemingway house so much as I want to see all the six-toed cats.
Six-toed cats. Okay. You have a balcony booked on the very back of Independence. Is that a good choice? For me, that's an excellent choice. That's my first choice on a cruise ship. The very aft of the ship.
On most cruise ships.
Yeah, but that is my first choice because I love that waterfall sound. And I love looking at the wake. Now, I will say, some ships are louder than others. Like Scarlet Lady, that was actually quite loud back there. Just with the way the noise was. And I think it was because our balcony, we had a massive balcony. The back of all the Virgin Voyages ships are suites, so they're very large. And I think it was just because we had so much steel to reflect. But I flat out love that. That was our very first our very first cabin on the Caribbean Princess. We were on the aft looking back. And ever since then, I just loved it. I just love being able to look out at the wake as we go. So for me, yes, you've got the best cabin. What is a don't miss excursion? Ooh, what is a don't miss excursion in Alaska? Great question. There's two. I think there's two. One, in Skagway, Temsco helicopters. Okay, Temsco, Temsco helicopters. They have an excursion that will fly you to a dog sled camp up in the mountains. And that is real snow. Okay? Now, that may get canceled. The problem with that excursion is that if the clouds are low, they can't fly because it's too dangerous to go up into the mountains.
And the dog sled camp is in a fixed location. So
yeah.
If that fixed location is fogged in.
And the reason why I recommend that one, because there's actual snow. Okay, there are dog sled camps in Skagway, but it's dirt. You're going to be on wheels, and the dogs will pull you on wheels or whatever it is. But if you go up into the mountains, you have a really good chance you're actually going to go on snow. Now, if the clouds are too low, Temsco is going to give you an option. You can get a refund, or they will fly you to a glacier. Like the helicopter actually lands on the glacier. You get off the helicopter. You spend about an hour with a naturalist on the glacier, and then the next set of helicopters comes in and takes you back. So that's number one.
And you will still get a partial refund because the dog sled camp excursion is more expensive than a glacier.
Yeah, yeah.
So you'll get a little bit of a refund and another tour.
Yeah, so that's number one. Temsco helicopters in Skagway, amazing. Number two, Juneau, Harv and Marv. So Harv as in Victor, and Marv, Marv as in Victor. Harv and Marv whale watching, sightseeing tours. They have small boats, like 6 to 20 people. That's it. When we went with my dad. It was just 4 of us on the boat. And then at one point, you know, he said, oh, look, there's the Princess boat. We were on Princess. It was like 300 people on a double-decker boat. Like, you'd be lucky if you actually were in the right position to see the whale, whereas we were just right there at the bow of the boat, just sitting right on the bow of the boat, and he was steering us in. And what was really cool was, because we were on a small boat, we were on a very fast boat, you know, he could say something like, okay, well, there's nothing here. Let's just go. Boom. And we were just off, flying to the next spot to try to catch a whale. And then because he lives there, the captain lives there, he prepared me for how to photograph the whales. He told me exactly how to photograph. Here's the timing. Here's what they do. And then he said, okay, when we're in this area, you might see some eagles coming from that direction, so be ready. Sure enough, some eagles came flying over. So Harv and Marv and Juneau, those are the 2 that I would highly recommend. Another Caribbean princess, yay. Any advice on cruise lines for 3 people? Son, daughter, and myself. Youngest is 16, other 19. So for 3 people, I mean, and kids that age, you're probably going to lean into Royal Caribbean, Carnival, and Norwegian, probably, just so that they have things to do. But other than that, I don't really have a whole lot of advice without knowing the specifics of what they want to do. I mean, feel free to reach out. Be happy to help you. Just click on my logo and then go to the contact page, set up a time to chat. But those are things that are like specifics that to help you pick a ship. Because the cruise line doesn't matter as much as the ship. You know, what's actually on the ship that the kids want to do. So that might be a Carnival ship, might be a Royal Caribbean, it might be a Norwegian, it might even be an MSC, it might be a Disney. So it's more about the ship, it's not about the cruise line. So feel free to reach out. Is the Lumberjack show worth it? I don't even remember the Lumberjack show.
We did not see it.
Yeah.
It's, I think, in Juneau. I think that's where
yeah.
So we were on the whale watching tour.
So over on YouTube, Luna Rose, for your next Virgin cruise, you want to do Brilliant Lady Christmas week. If you don't know, Brilliant Lady will be the 4th lady ship. She's coming out the last week of this year. All Rockstar suites are sold out. Do you think I'll have a good experience in the Sea Terrace? Oh, yeah. Yeah, so that's a great question. So we were in the Cheeky Corner Suite on our very first cruise on Virgin Voyages, which is the biggest balcony on the whole friggin' ship. And plus we had the bar, we had the Rockstar agent, we had priority this, priority that. And then we just did the Sea Terrace, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago on Scarlet Lady. Loved it. Had a great time. So yes, you will have an amazing. So Virgin Voyages, while you do get that amazing extra experience being, you know, I encourage everybody to be a rock star at least one time on Virgin Voyages. It is an amazing experience.
It's a special occasion.
Yeah,
treat
it's
yourself.
special. In fact, that's what just happened. So one of my clients having their 60th birthday, and they said, you know what? We're going for that Cheeky Corner Suite. I said, yes, that's a great reason to go for it. But because there is so much included on Virgin Voyages, you don't miss a whole lot from the suite other than getting that big, beautiful suite and getting, you know, the Rockstar agent. So yes, you're going to have a fabulous time in a Sea Terrace. Now, go ahead and book your Sea Terrace, and I can almost guarantee you there will be bidding, because more and more now cruise lines are actually holding back. So let's just say they have, I don't know, 40 suites. They might only sell 35 and then call it sold out and hold those 5 until the bidding process comes up. So you still may get a shot at a Rockstar suite if you want it. But the Brilliant Lady, if you don't know about this ship, this is amazing. It's going to be the 4th lady ship. They're all identical, but she's going to be sailing out of San Juan doing Southern Caribbean cruises. So she's already deep. And I think like Guadalupe is on one of the itineraries.
That would be the itinerary. The one with Guadalupe.
Trinidad and Tobago, is that on one? No, that might be Royal. But there are some really interesting itineraries. And by the way, Norwegian putting the Prima in San Juan. Royal Caribbean is putting the Jewel of the Seas in San Juan. So if you've been looking to do something different in the Caribbean and you're like, God, there's all these islands that I would love to go to, there are ships that are now going to be home porting in San Juan for the winter season, including the Brilliant Lady. So reach out to us. We'd love to talk to you about, what's going to be going on with some of these cruises. So yeah, so absolutely, you're going to have a great time. Have we done a Disney cruise? We did the Disney Fantasy and loved it.
Our 20th anniversary.
Yeah, our 20th anniversary cruise. We were on the Disney Fantasy. Still to this day, Remy is the best restaurant I think I've ever eaten in, period, land or sea. That was on the Fantasy. Overall, the food was the best at sea until we got on Virgin Voyages. Now I think Virgin Voyages, I think they're very close, which makes sense because the CEO of Virgin Voyages used to be the CEO of Disney Cruise Line. So he brought that quality over. The shows obviously are excellent. And you can go as an adult and have an amazing time because they do a great job keeping the adult areas adult. They have a whole adult pool area, have a whole adult nightclub area, so it's really
and
good.
And all the specialty restaurants are adult only.
Yeah, that's right. Yes. Okay. So Betty, Better Late is talking about you had that cabin once and you ended up with soot all over your stuff. If you're talking about the very apt cabin on the Disney Fantasy, we did get some soot back there from the exhaust. Yeah.
But it was such a big cabin. If you had things close to the door, you didn't get soot on. It was just out towards the balcony.
Right. Princess Alaska Cruise in August, should we use their flights easier? I would certainly compare. Sometimes the cruise lines are cheaper. Sometimes it's cheaper to go straight up. Like I'll give you an example. I priced out a cruise line to Europe, and the cruise line was like $500 more than what we could get independently. But then there's been other cases where it's either the same price or less to go through the cruise line. So certainly price it. Don't just automatically buy Easy Air. Find out what the price is on Easy Air and then go look at what you can get your own.
Well, I would actually say to look at what you can get on your own and then call Princess and or your travel agent and look at Easy Air so you already know where your comparison lies.
Could do that too. 20 days to your ABC cruise. Fantastic. If you're looking at that going, what's an ABC cruise? That is Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, better known as the ABC Islands, kind of like in the Southern Caribbean.
Yeah, they're kind of off the coast of Venezuela.
They are. What is our favorite cruise line? Don't have one. You've been on Princess 2 times, MSC once. You didn't like MSC. You want to try Royal. So we have been on 8 cruise lines right now, and MSC will be our 9th. I truly don't have an absolute favorite. Okay.
And I'll say something about trying Royal. Whether you're going to like it or not may well depend on what it is you liked about Princess, what it is you didn't like about MSC.
Yes.
That would help in being able to judge whether Royal might be a good fit for you. And I will say, like we've always said, MSC about 50-50 if you sail as a regular passenger, whether they like it. But if you sail in the yacht club, about 95% of the people who sail yacht club like it.
Yeah, and so we're purposely going as regular sailors on our first one, but I like all of the cruise lines for different reasons, and that's the cool thing about cruising. Every cruise line gives you a different experience. So I know, like when I go on a Disney or when I go on a family-friendly cruise line, one, I know there's going to be a lot of kids. Two, I know there's going to be a lot of activities to do, like a lot of fun. I am a big kid at heart, so I still like all those activities. But at the same time, I really enjoy going on Celebrity, Princess, certainly Virgin Voyages, Holland America, which are much more adult-centric. And I set my expectations based on the cruise line I'm going on. And the cruise line, and I've said this multiple times, but the cruise line is less important than the ship itself. Like you say, you want to try Royal Caribbean. Well, when you say that, you've got like 28 ships or something like that you're talking about. You got very small ships that are adult-centric, that do really amazing itineraries. And then you've got the Oasis class, 6,000 people, really big ship with tons of things to do. So if you get yourself on a wrong ship, you may not like Royal Caribbean. Whereas if you talk to us and you tell us, well, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, well, we're going to go ahead and pick you a ship that'll give you the best possible chance of enjoying that particular cruise line. And that's true of all of them, really. So over here on YouTube, Luna's saying that Royal is mid at best. Disney and Celebrity are your favorites. You have to report back on Virgin after the cruise in 2 weeks. So yeah, and everybody, that's the thing about the cruise line. Everybody has an opinion. And I just don't. I like cruising, so I really like. We've not had a bad cruise yet. We have some that we like more. Certainly, there. I will rank the food. I will rank the entertainment.
The pools.
But I will go on like Virgin. I can't stand the pool, but I love the cruise line. I love going on there. The food is so good. The crews are great. Everything about Virgin Voyages is wonderful. I don't like the pool. So what? So I go on there. Norwegian. The pools are way too small, but oh my God, they've got great specialty dining. They got amazing shows. They got a great crew. Carnival. We went on the Mardi Gras. Had a fabulous time. So I just like cruising. I don't get into the nitpicky about very specific things. I will be very honest though, and like if you watch my reviews, you've seen I've gotten a few little emails from some of our travel partners going, "Did you really have to say that?" Yeah, I didn't like it. So, what are you going to do?
And we will say, particularly with food, it is so subjective.
Mm-hmm.
What Walter and I like is going to be very different from, somebody who's just a meat and potatoes eater.
Yeah.
'Cause we're fairly adventurous.
And also, like we had amazing meals on the Symphony of the Seas. They may change out their executive chef this week, and suddenly all the meals would just go to heck. So even though we had a great experience on this ship, and your experience at each restaurant on each ship is wholly dependent on who is doing the serving. Like I'll say, like even on Virgin Voyages, like the wait to me, this last trip on Scarlet Lady was not as good as the first time we went. Still enjoyed the meal, but there was a difference between Scarlet Lady in July and Scarlet Lady in April of this year. But we still had a good meal. We still had a great time. We have not done Venice to Athens yet. No, on any cruise line. Really want to. I have clients booked on it. Your mom is doing something similar to that on Oceania.
She's doing Athens to Barcelona.
Oh, okay. Nice. Cheryl, you're going on in February in the Suite Aft Suite. Based a lot on our review. Well, thank you. I'm glad they were helpful. That's the one thing that I love, even before we became travel agents, that, I just love sharing information. So I'm so glad that you're going on there. Fantastic. 20 days until you get on the Carnival celebration. Fantastic. I love it. I love it. So talking of the Carnival celebration, my God, the Carnival Jubilee. Have you seen the renderings on the Jubilee? I want to go to Galveston and get on this ship. That whole under the sea thing that they got going on. I really love what Carnival's doing with the Excel class. So the Mardi Gras came out, pretty ship. Celebration comes out, hey, we're making some changes, we're tweaking, we're adding LED screens, we're going to do this terminal. Jubilee comes along, hey, we're going to expand on that even further. We're going to put LED strips along the ceiling, we're going to do this, that. I love that they're evolving the line, the class as they go. So that's absolutely fantastic. So have an amazing time. You just got off the Disney Dream, heading back out in 20 days on the Mardi Gras. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Let's see. Yep, dinner packages can be expensive. Yep. What's the easiest way to get from Whittier to Anchorage after the cruise? Good transfer advice. Ooh, I would have to look into that for you. I would say maybe Moose. Get a couple of Moose, hop on them.
I'm sure the cruise line offers a transfer.
The cruise line would certainly offer some
At
sort of a
least to the
transfer.
airport.
And then there will certainly be independent transfers as well. If you're working with a travel agent, that's something a travel agent can do.
Yeah, and if you're want to look at on your own, I would suggest probably looking at Yelp and look at transportation
or Cruise Critic. Go on to cruisecritic.com. That's an excellent way to do it because people who have been to Alaska, who have done exactly what you're talking about, will be able to chime in with that as well. So let's see. Yes, the celebrity will be chilling, relaxing. MSC will be pizza all week. I love what some of you guys are saying. This is really fun. It is really fun. What about Australia? What about to Australia? Are we going? Because I fit in normal size luggage, so you're welcome to take me with you. Australia, all I can say is it looks amazing. I've never been. One of the really interesting things to me is how many of these repositioning cruises that we're getting now out of Australia that are coming all the way up to Alaska. Alaska has like 60, 70 ships now. That's so many ships in Alaska. But like Carnival Luminosa made a repositioning. The NCL Spirit we were just talking about, she made a repositioning. I think Royal Caribbean has some ships making repositioning. So if you want to do Australia but not have to pay both ways on the flight, you might want to look at some of these repositioning cruises if you're in the States. I don't know where you are, but if you're in the United States, one thing to look at is, well, I'd like to go to Australia, but what if I took a ship? And a lot of ships are going to be going from Alaska back down to Australia, so you might want to look into something like that.
And I will say, as a resident of the northern hemisphere, you do have to remember that their seasons are completely flip-flopped from us.
Yeah,
so,
they are.
Like, right now it's spring, it'd be fall there.
Yeah, it is.
The other thing to know, if you're an American, you will need a visa. It's all done electronically. I don't have the name of where you go to get it anymore, but I'm sure you could Google it. But you will need a travel visa for Australia. It will be electronic, so make sure you get that.
There you go. Jackie saying food is not necessarily the same voyage to voyage, even ship to ship within the same cruise line. I added the question mark. Yes, that's 100% true. And again, that is all. That's just like, if you go to your favorite restaurant, right? They have off nights, right? You go there, you have 3 or 4 great meals, and then you go on the 4th night, and it's like, man, that just was not there. And it's because they got a different chef, or they got a different sous chef. Something's going on. They changed the recipe.
Maybe one of their food suppliers is,
and that's been a big issue, with the cruise lines, with the food suppliers, not being able to supply things. So the meals, the recipes are going to be the same for the same meals, but how they're prepared could be slightly different. So you will get a similar experience, but you won't get the exact same experience every single time you go. It's just like going to a restaurant. You won't get the exact same experience every time. Somebody's going on the Mariner May 12th, and your daughter is doing her training to become a travel agent. That's fantastic. A Mariner of the Seas. They had the bamboo bar down in the promenade. Love, I talk about bars all the time. Y'all probably think I get drunk all the time on a cruise ship. I'll have 1 or 2 drinks on any given day, but I like to have really good drinks. And the bamboo bar, I like to find a good bar with a good bartender. I will gladly pay for really good drinks. I'm not just going to the pool bar just to get drinks, just to drink alcohol. I want a good drink. And the Mariner introduced us to the Dark and Stormy, which, if you're a fan of rum and you're a fan of ginger, it's an amazing drink with dark rum, ginger beer, and ginger syrup. And it's a fun, kitschy bar. It's a tiki bar. It's a really fun bar. So I highly recommend that. Andrew, Solarium Bistro or the Windjammer. So if you don't know, the Oasis class ship at Royal Caribbean actually have a Solarium Bistro, which is a small buffet, and then you get the Windjammer buffet up at the top. They're both about the same, to be honest with you.
Nope.
Okay, go ahead. Rebecca has a strong opinion on this. Please tell us.
Well, admittedly, we did not do the Solarium Bistro for dinner, so we did not get to try that for dinner. But I will say it is less crowded than the Windjammer.
Yeah.
But the Windjammer by far has a better selection. Particularly if you don't I like the Indian food, I like the Asian food, and that really isn't a whole lot of it offered. I mean, a little bit in the Solarium, but I like the selection better in the Windjammer.
Well, yeah,
but it is less crowded and calmer.
And when I was starting to say they're kind of the same, they make very similar items. The selection isn't what they make the same is the same. The thing that I like, actually, talking about the bistro or the Windjammer, actually is the Park Cafe out in Central Park. I think that's a nice alternative to both. It's got a nice salad bar. It's got some savory eats in there as well.
Breakfasty stuff.
Yeah, I think that's a nice alternative to both of those locations. Yeah. Good morning, Cindy. How are you? Best cruise line in regards to food, variety, healthy, etc. That's going to be Virgin Voyages. I mean, that's part of their deal. They lean into healthy, and they have outdoor exercise equipment everywhere. They do morning yoga. They're very much about health and wellness on Virgin Voyages. And then the food is just really, really good. Second to that is going to be Disney. And then Celebrity Princess are going to be pretty close to that. So those are my 4 favorites in terms of food. Like that, I think they have the best food. Norwegian has amazing specialty dining. The main dining room and the buffet are okay, but their specialty dining is really, really good. What do we think of the Sky Princess? Well, I have a blog. I have a bunch of TikToks right here. On TikTok, I have a blog over on YouTube. And Sky Princess was gorgeous. We stayed in our very first interior cabin. We've never done it before. So now we're trying to, we love balconies. But we realize that we need to try to start testing out some other things so we can talk to you guys, honestly about, well, what is it like? And I can tell you, Sky Princess interior cabins are amazing. They're huge. and it's basically a balcony cabin without the balcony. A little bit shorter.
Almost
but
180 square feet.
yeah, it was almost 180 square feet. It was a big cabin. And in fact, when we went, one of our clients was on board, we went to see their balcony cabin. It's the same cabin. I think their cabin might have been like 3 feet longer.
It was definitely a little bit bigger, but
not much. But the width was the same. Bathroom, closet, exactly the same. The bedroom part of it was slightly bigger on the balcony. So Sky Princess is a gorgeous ship. Great restaurant. I love the Good Spirits bar. The World Class bar on Celebrity is still my favorite bar, but that Good Spirits bar was really good on Sky. So let's see. Do we know which cruise lines have a stop in Florida? Offhand, I know that Celebrity and Virgin do.
Yeah,
I don't know what else.
They've been cutting back on the cruise ships that go there.
Yeah,
but
yeah, they have. Because Key West actually voted to kick out the cruise ship, but then the governor overruled them, so the cruise ship is still coming in. Which cruise line do we recommend for casino play?
Before you get to that, right before that, there was a comment about sticking to Princess. They like laid back and relaxing. I would say that you may also want to consider Celebrity, Holland America, or Virgin Voyages. You can get a very laid back, relaxing experience on all three of those.
Absolutely. I mean, Virgin, some people say, well, it's just a big party ship. It's a party ship if you want it to be. But if you want to do absolutely nothing for the whole week, you can do absolutely nothing for the whole week. Which cruise lines do we recommend for casino players? So I don't play, but if you like a really nice casino, Virgin Voyages has a gorgeous casino. In terms of getting good deals from the casino, I can tell you that Princess and Carnival seem to offer the best return for the casino players based on my clients, based on what my clients are telling me. So, let's see. Loose Cannon's your favorite little bar in BB. It's like a hidden one too.
Yeah, it's kind of like I remember. It's like I remember seeing it, but I can never remember where it is.
Yeah, it's over by the Social Club. The Brightline is opening in summer in Orlando. Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, the Brightline is the new train that will be running from Orlando all the way to Miami. So you could, in theory, you could come visit Orlando, like go to the theme parks and whatnot, and then hop a train and go catch a cruise down in Fort Lauderdale or Miami, or vice versa. You can, take a cruise out of Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and then come on up on the Brightline to Orlando.
Although I will say, we saw something from Ben and David. They did a Brightline trip somewhere in southern Florida, and it sounds like the Brightline charges you to bring on luggage. I don't know what the charge was, but I think they charge for luggage. So you may want to just check that out just to be sure.
We'll have to check in on that. But certainly, if they charge for luggage, it's going to be a hell of a lot cheaper than hiring a cab to bring you 4 hours.
Yes.
So, which cruise line has the best spa? Really don't know. They all have beautiful. And again, you're asking me which cruise line has the best spa, which cruise ship has the best spa, because a smaller Norwegian ship is going to have a much smaller spa than, say, the breakaway class, the Prima, things like that. So it's which ship has the best spa? I can't answer that for you. We don't use the spa that much. And what you consider a good spa, somebody else is going to hate. It depends on what you want in that spa. So if that's something you want to talk about offline, you can tell us, hey, I want a spa that has these 3 things. And then we can go ahead and do some research and figure out which ship. I won't be looking at cruise lines. I'll be looking at specific ships to get you the best spa. So let's see, what else? What should you expect to pay after cruising? I don't know after cruising. You mean like the okay? Let's just say
like
that
you're doing like your bill at the end.
Yeah. So at the end, you may have gratuities. So there are hotel gratuities. And let's just say $15 a day per person is what they might be, and that goes towards the room steward and everybody behind the scenes that you don't see that supports that room steward. The laundry, the sanitation, the plumbing, everything down below, engineering, everything down below. And that will be charged every single day. It's basically like getting a resort fee in a hotel.
And it also goes towards the dining people too.
And that's it. That's it, unless you bought something online. So, or you bought something on the ship. That's pretty much it. What's the process? And basically this follows right up with your question. What's the process of paying gratuities on the cruise versus prepaid? First of all, it's the exact same amount. There's no advantage to paying in advance
unless the cruise line happens to be raising the gratuity rates.
Yeah, it's a raise in the gratuity rates.
If you pay them earlier, you'll get to pay the current rates. If you wait till you're on the ship, you pay the new
And there's
rates.
some packages such as Princess Plus where you get the Wi-Fi, the drink package, and the gratuities are rolled into that as well. But so basically, if you want to pay them in advance, if you're working with a travel agent like myself, you just say, hey, I'd like to go ahead and prepay the gratuities. We go ahead and get it added to your bill, and they're added, and you pay for those as part of your final payment on the cruise. You don't just, if it's $200, you don't just say, okay, we're going to pay $200 right now. It's made as part of your payments on the cruise. If you pay for them on the cruise, they're going to be charged to you every single day. That's all. And then at the end of the cruise, your credit card will be charged and those gratuities will be taken. But it's the same amount.
Although you can also prepay at any point, in which case you will pay the full amount at that time if it's not, when you booked it. So say 3 months later after you booked it, you want to add the prepaid gratuities. Quite often you're going to have to pay that whole amount right then.
Okay, she's saying that. I've not seen that on my bookings when people ask for the gratuity. Like on Royal Caribbean, I can add the gratuity, but they don't ask me to make a payment right then.
Well, I know
It just gets added to the bill.
Carnival, you do, you pay.
Oh, okay. So there may be some cruise lines that do ask for that. I've not seen that in any of my bookings where I just simply add the gratuities and it just simply gets added to the bill.
Even like a month later after they booked?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, it just gets added to the bill. So, but that may be different, but it's the same. It's the same.
Yeah.
Do we always fly to the port the day before you embark? Absolutely, 1,000%. Always.
Especially if we're
arrive at the cruise port at least 1 day early, or plan to arrive at least 1 day early, because if your flight gets canceled, your flight gets delayed, you've still got time to get there, right? When that ship leaves, this is not like flying to a resort, not like flying to Las Vegas. The hotel's not going anywhere. The hotel's going to be there. You show up 8 hours late. You might not have the room you wanted, but they should still have a room for you. Well, no, if you show up 8 hours late, ship's gone. And that's it. It's up to you to get to the next port. If they're going to let you on the ship, they probably won't. But you absolutely want to come in the day before. And if you absolutely insist on flying the day of, get that very first flight. I don't care if it's 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning. Get yourself to the airport. Get yourself on that very first flight. Again, if it gets canceled or delayed, you've still got time to get there. But 1,000% we go the day before.
And honestly, even if you're driving, if you have, say, more than a 6-hour drive, I would recommend getting there the day before.
Yeah, getting there the day before. I don't know the theme nights offhand for the Symphony of the Seas. You're going to pay $1 per drink on gratuity unless you sell VV. Well, that depends on the drink package too. If you get a drink package, you're prepaying the gratuities in some cases you're not. What's the difference from a soda package to a refreshment package? Just the name. Some cruise lines, it's literally specific just soda products, like Coca-Cola products, Pepsi products. And then like on Royal Caribbean, they have the refreshment package, which includes mocktails and coffee. So just add some things. So
yeah, that's what I was going to say. Generally, because those are the names for Royal Caribbean.
Yeah, those are named for Royal Caribbean, and then Carnival has the Bubbles package, and NGL has something.
But yes, soda and refreshment are different.
Hey, Swim with the Dogs, how are you? Good to see you. So that could be around $60 per day. Could you pay Royal in advance? Oh, if you're talking about the gratuities, yes, you can go ahead and pay them in advance. You can pay your gratuities on any cruise line. You can pay them in advance. Now, on Virgin Voyages, they're in the cruise fare. So they're automatic, like you're automatically paying them in advance.
And I know with Royal, you have to pay prepaid gratuities either directly through them or a travel agent if you use the travel agent.
Yeah.
You can't do it yourself. Carnival, you can prepay by yourself.
Yeah, you absolutely can. And somebody else mentioned the point that, if the gratuities go up, if you prepaid them, you're done. But if the gratuities go up between the time you booked and the time you get on the ship, you're now going to be paying that prevailing rate for the gratuities when you get on the ship. So your gratuities are based on the day you sail, unless you prepaid them. So that's a good
Yeah, and quite often if you haven't prepaid them, the cruise line knows they're going to raise the gratuities. They'll often send you an email or send it to your travel agent letting you know that the gratuities are going to go up, so you have the opportunity to prepay if that's what you wish to do.
And then like Cruise Hive is a great news source. They're going to print it in there as well. Carnival Mardi Gras, the food any good? Go to YouTube, Where's Walter Travel, and watch my blog. We eat almost everything on the Carnival Mardi Gras.
How much earlier? There is good and there is not as good.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag, but just watch the blog. Seriously, I ate almost everything on that ship. How much earlier should I fly to Europe for a river cruise? I mean, same thing. Be there at least a day early. Like actually be. You always want to be at the embarkation port, wherever that city is. Be there one day early.
And for
Whatever
me,
it is.
for a European river cruise, particularly since we're coming from the States, I would probably want to go in 2 or 3 days earlier. One, to help adjust to the new time, and two, to see more of the port where your cruise is going to start.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, depending on where, because most river cruises are one way, so you're going to start and end in a different place. So if you want to like visit where that departure port, so MSC we will be on in 28 days. We will be on the MSC side. We will be live from the MSC side, Wi-Fi permitting. I have no idea how the Wi-Fi is since we're going to be doing the overnight in Ocean K. I figured that's where I'll do the live stream from. Again, Wi-Fi willing. You can't wait for your Christmas market cruise. Hey, Rosie, how are you? Oh, are you our lovely guest who is going on, what are you going on? AMA Waterways? Avalon Water? Avalon. I get AMA and Avalon confused, but we do have a client going on the Christmas marketplace.
You're going to be on the same cruise.
Hey. Oh, you're going to be on the 28th?
Holy mama.
Are you going to be on the seaside out of Port Canaveral? Because that's the one we're going to be on. There's two going out on the 28th. One out of Miami, one out of Port Canaveral. We will be out of Port Canaveral. So if you're going
Avalon, yeah.
It is Avalon. Yay! So it's your first MSC. So we need to meet up and say hi so we can all meet up and then compare. Yes. Awesome. So look for us. We will be on the ship, or you can send me a message on TikTok and we can connect and then hopefully run into each other. And seriously, if you guys see us on a ship, please walk over and say hello. I've met so many, especially, gosh, on that last Scarlet Lady cruise. I swear there were at least a dozen people that came up to us and thanked us for everything we're doing. And we had some really fun conversations with folks. So please do come over and say hello. Rosie, that is you. Yay! Avalon. She is going on an amazing, she's going on one of my bucket list cruises. She's going on the Christmas marketplace over in Europe. I've asked her to bring me along, put me into a suitcase. Rebecca's okay with that. But yeah, what an amazing cruise.
And I will say, quite often the cruise lines will sell packages for, days on land before and after the cruise.
Yeah, they'll do kind of like that land tour kind of thing. So yeah. So hopefully it'll be good. Oh, good. So the Wi-Fi was good on the Meraviglia. Great, awesome, love it. You're going on the seaside in January. You were on the Divina last year. Awesome, best pizza on the cruise. That's what everybody's telling us. I think so far the absolute 100% best pizza has been on Princess so far. Alfredo's was amazing. Their poolside pizza has always been good, but Alfredo's was amazing. Scarlet Lady makes amazing pizza as well. So that pizza, I'm of Italian heritage, so I am really going to hold this pizza to a high standard. You probably saw my my review of Sorrento's on Royal Caribbean. Ooh, that is bad pizza. I'm sorry, that is really bad pizza. But the kids love it, so that's good. Aaron!
It's frozen pizza, basically.
Aaron Ross, how are you? 11 days to Alaska on Ovation. Yay, Aaron. Enjoy Alaska. Thinking about a celebrity cruise in the future, which ship would you recommend for your first time? You're in your early 50s. Again, Aaron, it depends on what you're looking for. The Millennium class, extremely popular. They're smaller. We've been on the Solstice class, good mid-sized ship, gorgeous luxury. And then, of course, there's the Edge class. Our friend Stephanie just went on to Beyond and said it was beyond anything she'd ever been on. So it depends on what you're looking for, Aaron, and also the itinerary. One of the really cool things about Celebrity, they have some really interesting itineraries depending on where you want to go and when you go. Honestly, any of the ships would be great for your first time. If you want to reach out, be glad to have a chat about it and try to find out like exactly what you're looking for. But the pools are amazing. The solarium, they have the best solarium pools of any of the ships we've been on so far. So, I think you could literally go on any one of them. It's just what experience are you looking for? And if you can go Aqua Class, man, Aqua Class, you get that blue restaurant, which is amazing. It's basically an elevated main dining room. So that's going to be fantastic. But yeah, Aaron, if you got some time, just reach out. We'd love to chat with you about it. So Carnival bubble package for soda. Is it just canned soda?
Usually it's the fountain soda.
Yeah, usually it's the fountain.
You would have to sometimes you can request a can from the bars occasionally, but generally it's just the fountain sodas. And I know that on the Mardi Gras, I don't know what it's like on other ships. Up in the buffet, they have self-serve. So you swipe your card, it'll recognize that you have the bubbles package, and
Yeah.
you can self-serve soda.
It's just like those beer taps, you know, in some of the ships now where you swipe your card and you can do the beer tap, which I think Carnival has.
But generally, it is fountain sodas. Even if it's cans, quite often they'll pour it into a glass for you. They, unless you specifically request it, they most likely will not actually give you the can.
Yeah, and on TikTok, Celebrity Edge, the retreat was amazing. I mean, Celebrity Edge, the whole Edge class, unfreaking real.
And the Edge retreat looks real, because the Edge retreat is the Edge class is the only one that have actual pools in the retreat area. The rest of the fleet just will have whirlpools.
Exactly. What excursion do we recommend in Puerto Plata and Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic? So Puerto Rico, on our last cruise, when we went there, we were on the Mardi Gras. We did Flavors of San Juan. It was a food tour run by a local company. Fabulous. A small group of us. She took us to 5 or 6 places that we never would have found on our own. And then what was really cool was at the end of the tour, I want to say it's like 2.5 hours, maybe 3 with all the walking. But at the end of it, you know, like my brother-in-law wanted to find cigars, and she's like, "Oh yeah, okay, go this way," and we wanted to find something. So at the end of it, wherever we wanted to go, she was able to point us in the right direction, which was fabulous. It was called Flavors of San Juan, all one word. It's the website. And by the way, if anybody's going to St. Thomas, Flavors of St. Thomas, it's the website there, same company. Now this, we're going there in November, and Shore Excursions Group, who is our travel partner, they have a hands-on culinary tour that I'm thinking about booking in November. I'm really excited about that. Now in the Dominican Republic, we really haven't done anything, but they have your usual, you know, they have your zip lining, I believe, your horseback riding, you know, your usual
resorts,
day
passes to resorts,
things like that. So I don't have a specific, but they do have your usual, excursions there. But in Puerto Rico, I highly recommend the food tour. It's really great. Which cruise can you take without a passport? About 99% of them from the United States.
If you're a U.S. citizen.
If you're a U.S. citizen, you cannot get on Virgin Voyages. Virgin Voyages requires a passport for all guests. But for about 99%, you can get on with a government-issued photo ID, which is typically your driver's license, and a original birth certificate. But there are exceptions to that rule, especially if you're looking at Panama Canal and maybe some in South America. There are some exceptions. And then, like if you're cruising Martinique, you need a passport to get off the ship. You go on the cruise, you just can't get off the ship. So just talk to your travel agent, and they can certainly help you out. Have we been on the Odyssey? Not yet, but soon. Do we recommend the bubble? Well, that's up to you to decide.
Yeah, I can't remember. I know Carnival either was Coke and switched to Pepsi or vice versa. So you can look online and somebody will be able to tell you whether it's Coke or Pepsi products. I don't drink a lot of sodas, and they're just going to have your basic cola, diet cola, lemon lime soda, maybe ginger ale, maybe one other thing. I tend not to drink. I drink the off, like I drink root beer, ginger ale.
Yeah. I mean, that's up to you. You know how much soda you're gonna drink, so you just kind of do the math, just like we say with the big drink package. You know, the alcohol. How much soda are you gonna drink every day? How much does the bubble package cost versus you paying for those sodas every single day?
Yeah, I think sodas generally on most ships, you'd have to specifically look at Google a bar menu for Carnival, but on most ships it's somewhere around $3 to $4 per soda.
And then you look at how much that bubble pack is going to cost you every day. I mean, it's literally just like doing an alcohol drink package. Just do the math. So any cruise ship that has tours, I don't know about that specific whale shark watching. I do not know. If the cruise ships don't, you can probably find an independent tour, but then you're going to have to do your research to make sure they're going to get you back to the ship. So you use a separate excursion company. We use both. We do probably, I don't know, about 75% on our own, 25% through the cruise line.
Yeah, and lately we've been doing a lot of just staying on the ship and exploring the ship.
So the two differences are, one, if you go through the cruise line, you're able to meet your tours usually like literally right there at the pier. You don't have to go anywhere. They're waiting for you. And they do guarantee that you're going to get back to the ship, or if the ship has to leave, they will get you to the next port. That's the guarantee from the cruise line. With independent tour operators, you have to obviously do a lot of research to make sure that you find an independent tour operator who's going to get you back to the ship on time. We've seen ships wait 30 minutes, like pretty much automatically, but lately, with the way their schedules are, that 30 minutes could be pushing it anymore. If it's their own tour, they will wait up to a certain point, but then they'll still leave. Shore Excursions Group, our travel partner, they have a return to ship guarantee. So if you should miss the ship for whatever reason, they will get you to the next port and they will pay you $1,000 each for the inconvenience of missing the ship. That's why we recommend them. That's why we work with them. But you can do both. For instance, we were on the Norwegian Escape. We did a sunset catamaran tour, and we had to book that through Norwegian because literally the return time for the catamaran was sail away time. So we had to do it. There was no other way to book it other than through the cruise lines that we were guaranteed they were going to wait for us. So, yes, best time to book anytime. A wave season for the cruise lines is like the very end of December all the way through to March, and that's supposedly the best time of the year to book. Honestly, you can book any time because if your price goes down, we as a travel agent will go in and get a price adjustment for you. So, best time to book is when you see a cruise you want, you see a cabin category you want, book it. Don't wait because that category could go away.
And I will say sometimes what I'll do is if I'm interested in a particular cruise, I'll track the prices of a few cabins I might be interested in for like a month or so and just kind of see where the trend is going and then decide, oh
Yes.
gosh, it just dropped by, $300. I'm going to jump on it. So
correct. Will we be doing an excursion while on the seaside? I'm considering something in Costa Maya because we realized that we really haven't gotten off in Costa Maya. A couple of times I have considered one of those Mayan ruin tours that I want to bring my nice camera and go take some pictures, but have not decided yet. Are you able to purchase Cuban? Oh, great question. I love you so much for asking this question. Are you able to purchase Cuban coffee in the Havana Lounge? This is on Carnival. If you are not a Havana guest, the answer is yes. It's the best coffee on the entire ship. They make a Cuban coffee in there. That is amazing. They actually make 3 different kinds of Cuban coffee. They make their traditional, just the coffee with the syrup and the sugar. Then they make one that's kind of like an espresso macchiato with a little bit of cream on it. Then they make one that's more like a cappuccino with a lot of cream. I highly recommend either the straight Cuban or the one that's like the macchiato. That little touch of cream actually does add something to it. So yes, anybody on the ship can go to the Havana Lounge. Anybody on the ship can get the Cuban coffee. If you are on the Carnival Mardi Gras, Carnival Celebration, and soon to be Carnival Jubilee, go to the Havana bar, get yourself Cuban coffee, best coffee on the ship. You were just on a cruise. You had the booze package, and it didn't include water. We had to buy water. Bottled water is not always included in a cruise package.
Norwegian doesn't include it.
Every single cruise line has a different drink package. You have to look closely at what's included. For instance, she just said Norwegian doesn't include water. They also don't include specialty coffee in the base package. If you buy the premium package, all the Starbucks coffee is included.
I think the water may be included on the premium package as well.
So almost every cruise line has multiple levels of a drink package too. So you got to look closely.
Read the terms and conditions.
Yeah.
Carefully to see exactly what's included. Most cruise lines now, if you get alcohol up to a certain dollar amount, most of them will just, if you buy something over that, they'll just charge you the difference plus gratuity on the difference. But some cruise lines, if it's over, you have to pay the full price.
I think somebody said MSC.
I think they said that, but you have to look at the terms and conditions to know exactly what you're buying. So when you're doing your math, you know exactly the math you're doing.
See, this is why I love Virgin Voyages so much. They have a bar tab. Okay, it's $300, it's $400, it's $600. Whatever you want to get, they just run down that tab until it's gone. It doesn't matter what you're getting. You're getting water, you're getting coffee, you're getting alcohol, you're getting mocktail. They just charge again.
They were on Norwegian, so the base package on Norwegian does not include bottled water, does not include
look carefully.
Specialty coffee.
You got to read the fine print with those drink packages, or have your travel agent explain it to you. Is it safe to travel alone? I think so. I don't really know what else to say about that. I mean, our friend Stephanie has been traveling around. Our client Colette is going alone up to Alaska. So, I think so. It's a Freedom of Bad ship. And I think Freedom of Sea is a great ship.
We did our second Thanksgiving cruise on Freedom.
We did. No pasta today. In fact, we're going to have to wrap this up. Do you need a passport? You need a passport for some things, so, but not much. Do you pay? I don't think there's any gratuities under 2. I think
It
it's 2 years
depends
old.
on the cruise line.
Yeah, probably
It
Disney.
actually-
Disney, you might.
No, I think I think there are cruise lines, it does not matter the age. There
Right.
are some cruise lines where it's a certain cutoff, so you just have to look at the terms and conditions of the gratuities and
Gotcha.
as to who has to pay it and if there is a age cutoff
Yeah.
where you don't.
So good show today, everybody. We are now going to start doing a regular broadcast every Thursday night on YouTube at 8:30 in the evening Eastern time. And I am working on getting guests. So pretty much every Thursday, we should have a guest over on the YouTube side. 8:30 Eastern time every Thursday night on the YouTube side. And of course, we're going to be back here every Sunday morning, primarily TikTok. We're also going to be simul streaming on YouTube as well. But make a note in your calendar, start popping in. Like Tony from Lolita Loca, he just pinged me today. He's going to be appearing on one of the episodes. I can't wait to talk to him. He just did a transatlantic, so I'm going to have fellow vloggers appearing with me, and I'm also going to have folks from the cruise industry appearing with me on Thursday nights, YouTube, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. So mark your calendar, start joining us on the Where's Walter channel on YouTube. We're going to wrap it up today because I have to get going. I have some clients I need to take care of, and I have some training. So I have to go do some training. Can I talk about next live cam? Can I talk about the new ship? You're going to have to ask me which one, because there are 75 new ships coming out in the next 5 years. So which one do you want to talk about? Make a list, and we'll start talking about that. But yeah, so starting, please make a note in your calendar. Thursday night, 8:30 p.m. Where's Walter Travel YouTube channel. We're going to have guests. I know Tony from Lolita Loca is coming. What's
Andrew, I'm not sure what show you're talking about.
Yeah, he might be. I don't know. What deck is that show on?
And your reservations needed question mark. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
What show?
I don't know. So, but yeah, so Tony's going to be appearing. I'm trying to get that Cruise Life to come on the show.
Oh, Where's Walter show?
I'm trying to get. Some of the folks. Well, I know I'm going to get some of the folks from the cruise line to come on. Tamika, obviously from Virgin Voyages, she's going to be popping on. Andrew, you absolutely need a reservation. It's also going to be $150 a ticket just for you. Just for you, because you asked. Thanks for asking. But yeah, please do make a note of that on Thursday night, 8:30 p.m. Where's Walter Travel on YouTube. And of course, every Sunday morning we'll be on TikTok. We'll be on YouTube as well. So thank you all so much for all of your support. You guys have been amazing. If there's anything we can do, you know the drill. You click my logo on TikTok and you go to that link that says contact me. And we'd love to talk to you about your travels. And on YouTube, it's in the description. It's in the description down below, or you can scan my little QR code that's been on the screen this whole time. So thank you so much to everybody for joining us today. Thank you so much for your support. We are having so much fun, helping you guys do some amazing, amazing vacations. So wherever you are in this amazing world, I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day. So thank you, YouTube. Thank you, TikTok. Have an awesome weekend, everybody. Take care.